Hi, welcome to class. We're the only two right now, but the other ones will show up eventually, right? I hate my life. I hate my life. A Professor Sunrise Productions! Hello, class. Professor Sunrise here. In today's class, we're gonna take a look at Dune and especially Black Ice Meteor Burst Dragon or whatever it's called, what it offers for Dragonling, if it's gonna be a good fit in the post-Dune format, and all of that good stuff. So without further ado, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave some feedback down in the comment section below, and let's get right into the video. So how good is Meteor Black Dragon? Look at this beautiful boy. He is looking cool. First of all, what does this offer? It's a free extender of the black metal starter, so it does give the starter a lot of good value because you can normal black metal, link it off, search the red AMD, revive the black metal, get in Romulus, and then you can search the Meteor Dragon. With this way, you have a free seal savage of just one black metal and the discard for the Ravine package. So that's by itself really good. Also, Meteor Black Dragon is another way to play if your normal summon gets removed. So your normal summon gets booked, it gets banished, whatever. You can't get a dark or a light into the graveyard. If you have a hard-drawn copy of the Meteor Dragon, you can just use its effect, dump a light or a dark, summon it, and then you can use your Bystials to at least combo off. It also, which probably is not going to come up all too crazy, is a level 6 in rotation. While it's sadly a level 7 when it hits the field, which is really bad for the card. It's a level 6 in graveyard, so if you go for long combos and you can revive it with either Pisty or Dissipator, and you have access to one other Bystial, which a lot of times is pretty realistic, you will then have the ability to go into an Atomb like very late in the combo and even pop off even more crazy. What does it require? It's not a lot, just from the points which are standing there, but it's one normal monster brick, which is, it sucks, let's be real here, but it can be manageable. And playing black metal at all, which will be going on later because I'm not so sure if I will be playing black metal in the next format whatsoever. Now let's take a look at a deck list. And I think here is where the problems is starting to showcase a little bit. Here we have a 47 card deck list and we have all the standard stuff we want in a deck. Like basically everything. Still a huge fan of the Branded Beast, not gonna cut that, especially next format. And then you can see at the non-engine we have 6, 9, 10 non-engine slots and 47. This is definitely not where you want to be, especially if you take into consideration that you have to add the additional brick with the driver gamma package. You could, in theory, just play any level 6 dragon, be it a light or a dark, like normal monster. But honestly, that's just an additional brick. And the driver, yeah, it's also an additional brick, but it does offer the gamma package, which is, of course, really insane. It always has been insane in Dragon Link, hitting Ashes, hitting Drolls, all of that good stuff. But sadly, with gamma being at 1, I just don't think this feels all too clean. If Gamma was at 3 and you would play the driver anyways, this would have been the cleanest addition into any Dragon Link deck. But now with Gamma only being at 1, you don't really want to play it. Add to that you do have some anti-synergy if you use your Meteor Black Dragon to summon and then you use a Bystial on the driver, so you have any chance of playing, your Gamma is dead. If you use your Gamma on the opponent's turn and you draw the Black Meteor Dragon, it's also dead unless you can somehow recycle the driver without regained on the board. So overall, there is some anti-synergy with that and the additional break, plus a not well-positioned 47 card deck when it comes to the non-engine amount and the non-engine you're playing into the new format. But speaking of that, let's take a look at the challenges of the new format, which this card is probably having to face in Dragon Link in general. So for the challenges in the new format, we have that everybody is gonna be playing Droll with decks like purely being around and being even more oppressive than it is already, with decks like Kashtira still being in the format, of course, but then all of the new combo decks, any Synchron pile abusing Revolution Synchron, Infernobles, Manadium, all of these cards are getting support, all of them are getting hit by Droll kinda hard, so Droll is gonna be the new hot card in the format, and of course Dragonlings get hit by Droll as well. And of course, everybody's going to be on other hand traps as well. So there's probably not going to be a lot of room for big combos just because these play into Droll, but also Nibiru kind of hard. And you'll have to take those into consideration when building your deck. And like I said, we also have to play these cards ourselves. We have to play Droll, we have to play all of these hand traps so we don't get FTK'd by any Synchron pile if this deck takes off, by the way. This could, of course, all change. The current thought is that a lot of combo decks will be in the format, and these board breakers just won't be doing enough. Maybe you can get away with a Dark Ruler, but even Vanadium has a counter trap, so cards like these will be very, very, very needed in the next format. So we have to play a good amount of non-engine ourselves, not only to stop the opponent, but also to have a good backup plan for when we get drolled. Because when we get drolled, we will most of the time go to Seal Pass. If we have good, we have a Branded Beast with that. And then we have to have at least one non-engine to trade with the opponent's draw, because then Seal plus Branded Beast and one non-engine, you will never get killed through that. We still have one line of follow-up with the Seal, probably another play in the hand because we got drolled kind of early in our combo. So if we can get to that consistently, Seal, Pass with the Branded Beast, under droll, and we have non-engine, enough non-engine to see it regularly, then we are in a very good position in the next. We have to take into consideration, though, that Kashtira is still a thing, and we still want our Kashtira outs to be available for us post-side. Of course, hand traps can work fine against Kashtira. A well-timed draw on the field spell can turn off their turn and maybe make them pass on Fenrir Pass, which is way better than a Rysart Pass, by the way. But we still have to have our outs post-side, so we still have to take some of our resources in the side deck and of our non-engine slots to deal with Kashtira, just because it's still going to be our hardest matchup. We can deal with Vanadium kind of easily because Bystials are pretty good against them. Probably Bystials will also be at some point good against any combo deck which tries to play with Revolution Synchron. I don't know what combo pile will emerge of that, but probably Bystials will at least be alive against them and maybe hit some of their combo pieces at some point, but maybe not. Against Infernoble, they're completely dead, so we have to rely on our non-engine against those decks, but also still have the insane outs we want against Kashtira to be able to play against that deck at all. And in general, the format is still gonna be very, very wide. You still have Labyrinth, you still have all the decks which are decent right now, and then you also have these new decks with Infernoble probably not being the craziest one, but Vanadium and any Revolution Synchron piles being there in the new format to shake things up and requiring everyone to run Droll and other hand traps. Nibiru also gonna be a huge hand trap next format. So to conclude, for Meteor Black Burst Dragon, I think Meteor Burst Dragon, the value and the utility is pretty good. I really like that not only the normal summon gets more value, but I really like the card being like a 4th, 5th, 6th copy of Quick Launch if you want to max it out. Just because the biggest weakness for dragons right now is like any Book of Moon on the normal summon, because it becomes so hard to play with that. Of course, these probably won't be as popular next format because people have to play hand traps, but the normal summons have different problems into hand traps anyways. But I really like that if you hard draw this copy or you play 3 of it because you're playing maybe like 60, you just have additional ways to get dragons on the field which are not reliant on the normal summon, and then you just have your extra copies of the Quick Launch, of the Chaos Base, etc. So of course, these are way better than the Meteor Black Dragon, but it's still another way to get going, which is really, really helpful, and I like that a lot. The cost of the card is annoying and manageable at the same time. Playing that one driver definitely doesn't feel clean, but it's definitely manageable, and the amount of space you have in there, you can definitely salvage it if the format is correct. But right now, I don't think the format is looking too beneficial for the card, just because you have to take into consideration, if you take a look at the deck list, that you have to play way more non-engine, and you probably want to turn it down so that you can have a very consistent way to see 1 or 2 non-engine, similar to like all of these decks which play 12 non-engine slots in 40. We probably want to be at like 43, 45 and 12 non-engine slots, just so that we can still see our non-engine to deal with the opponent's drolls effectively, while also having a very nice consistent dragon engine, which probably is going to be turned down a lot, at least in my opinion. I will probably go back to a Seal Control playstyle, other than the very combo heavy Borderland, regained heavy combos, get a lot of the resources out, because these play very well into the current board breakers which being played. But if all of the decks in the format are on those hand traps, you definitely have to take a step back, go back to the control roots, and just go for Seal Control, because this plays really well into all of these hand traps. You get rolled, Seal Pass. You get nipped, you can't get nipped because you Seal Pass. Or even if you get nipped, you just summon the black metal out of the deck and make another seal if you get nipped on that. So the format doesn't look very beneficial for Meteor Black Dragon right now, but it's definitely a very, very good card for Dragon Link, and I will definitely be playing it in the future. At worst, once the 60-card Dragon Link makes sense again, I would definitely play it as a 3-off in that deck, or as a 2-off, just because it is so good at pushing through boards and just having extra pushes in a deck like Dragon Link. And with the way how Bystials work in the deck, just feels way too clean. Hope you guys enjoyed today's class and had a very nice, quick look at Meteor Black Dragon. I will be going over the challenges of the new format for Dragon Link as well. I just thought they were too important in this video to not go over them, but of course the format like that and its infant choose is gonna be way harder to evaluate than just in like this 10-ish minute video. But still, hope you guys are interested in a video like that. And for now, class is dismissed. You guys are free to leave. Professor Sunrise out. Peace.